This is a video about converting between the units of metric measurement for length, area and volume. On this page I've got all of the units of metric measurement that we use for length, area and volume, but there are some numbers missing. I don't have any numbers on this side because I'm going to show you where these numbers come from. First of all, we're going to look at length units. I'm really hoping that you already know how many millimeters there are in a centimeter, how many centimeters there are in a meter, and how many meters there are in a kilometer, because those three numbers are our basic knowledge. So let's put those in. I'm hoping from your ruler you know that there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. Let's stick a 10 there. I'm hoping from seeing the meter ruler occasionally that you know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Let's put that number in there. And then I hope that you know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Let's put that one over there. Now, already my brain is zinging. Zing, 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 because already there is a pattern here. It seems to me there's 1 0 here, then there's 2 zeros, then there are 3 zeros. It's just almost a happy coincidence actually, because there are lots of other metric units that we don't generally use in Australia, and they would ruin our pattern completely, and we'll talk about those later. But what I want to know is whether or not this pattern exists for area units and for volume units. Many people think that I can just take that 10 and stick it here, or stick it over here, and unfortunately, that would be incorrect. So let's go over one more screen and let's look closely at what we mean by our area units. I've got 3 squares drawn on this page, and you probably have already noticed a problem with them. If this is 1 square centimetre, then this is not going to be 1 square metre, but I'm going to ask you to use your imagination for just a wee bit. So the difference between 1 centimetre and 1 square centimetre is that 1 centimetre is just that line, it's a length, whereas 1 square centimetre is a whole square, it's a unit of area. So here we have 1 square centimetre, or 1 centimetre squared. We know it's squared because it's got that little 2 on it, a power of 2. And it has a length of 1 centimetre and it has a width of 1 centimetre. Let's look at those centimetres instead of being in centimetres, let's look at them as millimetres. And from the previous page, I said perhaps we should already know that there are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So this 1 centimetre can also be written as 10 millimetres. And so it can be written here as well as 10 millimetres. Knowing our formula for area of a square, 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres, length times width, side times side, is 100 millimetres squared. So 1 centimetre squared is not 10 millimetres squared, it's 100 millimetres squared. 10 times 10. Let's look at the metre squared. Once again, we're going to suspend our imagination, our common sense, and we're going to say this little pink square is 1 square metre, 1 metre squared, which means it has a length of 1 metre and a width of 1 metre. Let's, instead of writing it as a metre, let's translate that unit into centimetres. 1 metre is 100 centimetres, we said that on the previous page, so this square is now 100 centimetres by 100 centimetres. Using our area formula, side times side for area of a square, 100 times 100. 100 times 100 is 10,000. So it's not 1 metre squared is 100 centimetres squared. It's actually 100 times 100 centimetres squared, which is 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. I'm wondering whether you're seeing a pattern yet. Let's have a look at the square kilometre. Once again, clearly this little pink box is not 1 square kilometre. 1 square kilometre is probably about the size of your suburb. 1 square kilometre is made up of 1 kilometre in length and 1 kilometre in width. Let's change that 1 kilometre into 1,000 metres. We know a kilo means 1,000. 1,000 metres by 1,000 metres. 1,000 times 1,000, when we're working out the area of that pink square, 1,000 times 1,000 is a million. A million square metres. And if you imagine a square metre, you and your friend could stand in a square metre, but a square kilometre, that's about as big as your suburb. So it's not surprising there's a lot of square metres in a square kilometre. So let's now go to the next page and have a look at what that pattern looks like when we put it in the table like we had on the first page. There's 100 millimetres squared in a centimetre squared. There's 10,000 centimetres squared in a metre squared. And there's a million metres squared in a kilometre squared. So while 2 pages ago our pattern went 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, now when we look at area it goes 2 zeros, 4 zeros, 6 zeros. My brain's going zing, 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 zing. My brain loves patterns, and so does yours. Let's click forward to the volume now. Once again, I'm going to have to ask you to suspend your imagination because those boxes clearly cannot all be different volumes. In fact, they're all the same, but we're going to imagine that they're different. Here we are, we have a cubic centimetre, a centimetre cubed. We're now talking about volume. We're talking about space. We could probably fit 3 or 4 year 8s sitting into a, not in a centimetre cube. What am I talking about? That's a metre cubed. Zip, zip, zip. Wrong. 1 centimetre cubed. It's like a cube of sugar. It's like a dice. It's about that big. And it is 1 centimetre high and 1 centimetre wide and 1 centimetre long. And so if we're finding the volume of that, it would be 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre, length times width times height, 1 centimetre squared. But let's now once again change that centimetre into millimetres. 10 millimetres is 1 centimetre. So our volume is 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres, which is 1,000 cubic millimetres or millimetres cubed. Wow. Now, here's my box that could fit a couple of year 8s into it. 1 cubic metre. 1 metre by 1 metre by 1 metre. But a metre is 100 centimetres. So 100 centimetres times 100 centimetres by 100 centimetres is 1 million centimetres cubed. Let's quickly go on to kilometres cubed, and I think you can make a prediction about how big this answer is going to be. 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre can be written as 1,000 metres by 1,000 metres by 1,000 metres, and that big Lollapalooza of a number, why did I use that word, has got 9 zeros. And 9 zeros means a billion. A billion cubic metres in a cubic kilometre. But if you think about it, a cubic kilometre is a big box. So let's have a look at what that looks like in our table. We've got the 1,000 millimetres cubed in a centimetre cubed, a million, 6 zeros, centimetres cubed in a metre cubed, and 1,000 million, which is a billion, metres cubed in a kilometre cubed. So let's look now at our original sheet, our original page, and see if we can put these numbers in. We started with the ones that we knew, 10 millimetres in a centimetre, 100 centimetres in a metre, and 1,000 metres in a kilometre. Then we went to our squared units. Do you remember? There were 10 by 10 millimetres squared in a centimetre squared. There were 100 by 100 centimetres squared in a metre squared, and 1,000 by 1,000, a million metres squared in a kilometre squared. Then we went to volume. I'm missing a number. I need, what number is it? 10 times 10 times 10. That's going to be 1,000. I'm going to need to copy that number. Let me clone that. 1,000 millimetres cubed in a centimetre cubed. What's this one? 100 times 100 times 100. There's my million. A million centimeters cubed in a meter cubed, and a billion meters cubed in a kilometer cubed. Zing, 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 my brain is going crazy. Let's look at these patterns. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. 2 zeros, 4 zeros, 6 zeros. 3 zeros, 6 zeros, 9 zeros. It looks to me that when I've got squared units, I double the zeros. The zeros that I already know, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 3 becomes 6. And when I've got cubic units, the little 3 there, it seems to me that we triple the zeros that I already know. 1 becomes 3, 2 becomes 6, 3 becomes 9. You don't need to know all 9 of these conversions. You only need to know these 3, and they've got a beautiful pattern associated with them. And then you need to remember squared units double the zeros, cubic units triple the zeros. Watch part B of this video to see an easy way to then convert between units.